Welcome to the Illuminated Mind podcast with me, Matthew Brownstein, founder and lead instructor of the Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy. This podcast is all about the work we do in hypnotherapy, spiritual growth, and quite often we get to showcase some of our successful graduates. So I'm here with Amanda Andrade. You're from Brazil, so I had to work on the pronunciation of your name, which is still not quite as lovely as you say it, yet welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Matthew, for having myself in here. I do appreciate that, and you did it correct.
Good, thank you. I'm glad that you're with us. Amanda is a graduate of our school, so she's a certified hypnotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist, transpersonal hypnotherapist. You're a Reiki practitioner, and you also recently went through our neurolinguistic programming training. So now you have basic and master NLP training, if I remember correctly.
Yes, you're correctly.
Good. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you in class. So I wonder if you just want to talk to us about why hypnotherapy, what got you into this path?
It was a magic, actually, because I was living in an illusion of my mind, but I didn't know about that, right? So right before the pandemic started, I finished a relationship and I was going through about discovering love because I had the sense about what love was it, but I was living another way. And from there on, I just started to research and looking here, looking there. And that's when I found like hypnosis, which I always love psychology, but it's totally different way. And I started just reading and reading. And after the pandemic, that's when I started like, okay, what I'm going to be doing for my life. I need to know who I am. And so hypnosis was laying right on my hands. So that's when I started, and I was seeking for a value school, which I couldn't just like have like my principles, all of my needs met. That's when I found like Institute of Interpersonal Hypnotherapy.
Yeah, so you ended a relationship, but you were really questioning love, like what is love? But also it sounds like wanting to work in a field where you could help others using the mind, but not traditional psychotherapy, because right, we're not psychotherapists, but you found a path that helps to bring people back to a space of love. And I see that on your wall behind you with your diplomas, which looks great. Before we get more into you and your journey, I wonder if you could just tell anybody who's listening about the school, what your experience was like going through the training.
I experienced a very lovely atmosphere, environment with my instructors because they were over there to embrace myself, not only to guide me to learn all of the knowledge, but just to embrace me because they knew it that I was going through a transformation.
Mm-hmm.
That was it was comfortable to know that I had somebody just for me to be vulnerable with my own feelings and just to guide me, and also with the patience that they have it because English is not my first language and all of that. And I was like, wow, what I'm going to be doing, having all of that transformation at the same time and just going and studying. And at one moment, I thought I could not be capable to do it, but at the end, I did it. So I'm very happy with that.
It's beautiful. I'm glad you bring up English as a second language theme because we'll have people might be interested in the school and then they say, well, English isn't my first language. Will I be able to go through this training and be a hypnotherapist? Could you talk to anybody who's listening about that? What is it like where English isn't your first language, yet you're in a profession where you have to speak a lot?
Yes, you're right. And at first, I was not believing on myself actually, because okay, language is not my first language. However, I was practice English for a few times or a few years, I would say better, and I was just feeling like my guidance was just like pushing me, go, you can do this, and it was like fantastic at the beginning that I started not knowing anything, and I knew it that I was going to not waiting, but it's going to be more from myself than the others because the others is going to be there to teach me, but it was more about me researching and all of that for the words that I couldn't not know in that time. However, it was not difficult at all. because it's just like the same way that you're communicating in here, but of course we have a protocol which we follow the protocol. So that is not like anything new in English in that protocol. You just need to understand how that works for you to apply that. So English is not a big thing. English was the little thing, but at first I thought could be something, but at the end it was not. So if you are looking to do it something with hypnosis or any other kind of thing that the school provide for you, please go ahead and do it because you're capable. English is not going to be your barrier for doing anything. Actually, it's going to motivate you to do it because you're going to just like, okay, I can do it and overcome your own obstacles or anything that you may face at the first, but later, no, you're not going to face anything else.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that for someone else who might be interested. Let's keep talking about you. So I'm curious what you feel the essence of the work is. You mentioned the word love. Like I said to you, what is hypnotherapy to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Hypnotherapy for me, it's everything now. It's understanding the mind and the reason that we've been storage all of those emotions, which are energy, and storing all of those events that happen in our past, which we needed that to become the person that we are in here today, that we experience life today. So hypnosis for me, it's just like finding out the ability of the brain, because we were storage like the illusion, those energy that we didn't know which was it. However, nowadays, once you understand the mind, you are capable just to embrace everything, integrate everything, and just be open to live the life, experience the life. And like I've been learning with Matthew, with you, like walking through life with an opening heart. And that's what represents hypnotherapy for me. Open to the spirit with an opening heart and walking to serve the others. And so it's what I've been doing daily in my life. So it's everything for me. I couldn't like embrace hypnosis, hypnotherapy, because that's what I've been practiced for, not for the others, but for myself as well. It's just like being here and understanding that. So for me, having like the understanding, the intellectual, it's very needed. And that's when I combine with my heart, which is just like for the spirit. So it's everything for me.
Beautiful. I love hearing that. First of all, I hear you saying it's everything for you, and you're acknowledging the mind, the heart, the spirit, and being of service to others. I think you encapsulated that so beautifully within maybe 2 minutes. So wonderfully said. I think you also mentioned energy there. And as a Reiki practitioner, I wonder what your thoughts are. I believe you've combined Reiki and hypnosis in your own unique way. So would you like to talk to us about your approach to that, or just energy work in general in relationship to hypnotherapy?
I started doing Reiki because I felt it, because all of my training with hypnotherapy and my breathwork sessions, I was having all of those energy through my hands. And as we know, the breathwork is going to make the energy moving through your body, through your chakra system. And as it was moving all over my body, my hands were shaking and all of that. So that's when I understood, I got the message, I would say, that I couldn't do in the Reiki because I have those energies in my hand that I couldn't just like doing for myself and for the others. So that's when I started, and I look for another value place to do it. And then I found it in here where I live in Jacksonville. And after that, I just started to integrate it, the Reiki with hypnosis, hypnotherapy. And whenever I do like eye movement therapy, I was just like sending Reiki also for the client. In this way, I can just like intend, okay, I'm sending. And also another way that I do it, it's with a breath work, because the breath work with the light force energy is going to be moving through your chakra system, your energetic body, and also just intense the Reiki. And then the Reiki goes to the point or to the chakra that the person needs to be receiving. So that's how nowadays I've been integrated those techniques with my
Mhm. As you're talking, I'm thinking back in the days of Franz Anton Mesmer, where Mesmer was using magnets, rubbing magnets over people's bodies, helping them to heal. But then one day he forgot his magnets and used his hands and realized he was getting the same results. But as you might know, in the history of hypnotism, the delegation that studied Mesmer said there's no energy. They called it, animal magnetic fluid. They said there's not that. There's only the power of suggestion, only the power of the imagination, only the power of the mind. They really just took the whole energy part out of mesmerism and therefore out of hypnotism. Do you feel that that was a mistake, or what are your thoughts about divorcing energy work from hypnosis? Because the history of it really shows that it didn't become popular until we said, okay, it's only the power of suggestion. Now we can be more, quote, scientific. But I hear you saying energy is a huge part of the work.
It is. And for me, that works because of the intention of the person. If I am aligned enough with my higher self to integrate those techniques and just to receive, to channel the information and just to deliver for the person that is in front of me, which is myself also, because the only separation that we are having as right now, it's the body, it's the matter, right?
Hmm.
But as a one unique consciousness, we are the same. So my intention of like sending the energy towards that person in front of me, it's just like love, because I'm sending with the same intention for myself. Once I understand that, I mean, I'm telling for myself, but as you just pointing that up, I believe it that it's just like the intention about like what you wanted for the other, and just like imagine all of that. Because as I've been learning, visualization has another huge tool that we can just apply, just visualizing that person heal, and like visualizing having the sense in our own body whenever we are connected with that emotion from them, and just having that sense and sending out, and they're going to be receiving, because we are just like elevated our energy just to be there for them and just to embrace and hold the space for them, which is more important. So for me, yes, that is valid.
It seems like a very important part of your practice. And if somebody said, oh, well, that's not scientific, I don't think for you or a lot of people who do work like you that it matters, because you're having a direct experience. So it sounds like of oneness with your client. You're not seeing the body really as an obstacle. And I'd like to go deeper into what you said about higher self, because in the traditional, let's say, university approaches to helping others, whether it's psychotherapy or social work, quite often the idea of higher self would be considered maybe even woo-woo or not scientific. Yet for you, that seems like a living reality that if I just said, well, there's no proof of that, I imagine you would say, I don't need proof. I am in touch with something extremely valuable. So I wonder if you can talk to us more about how higher self works in your practice.
Higher self in my practice works as a connection. How I am just like dedicating that time to be connected with myself daily. And then just the same, if I explain to you, or if somebody asks me, Amanda, what is meditation? Oh, can I just be sitting there and just like waiting for something come in and just stop my thoughts, just stop coming? And then I give my own experience, which for everybody could be different. But for me, meditation, just like it's when I allow that energy to come in and just to be there, not thinking anything. It just be there, and not, and it just, like allowing. That's what I've been learning a lot on this process. It's just allowing. And I've been allowing this connection, this communication, which come from there to me, not me from them, which I have the intention for sure. And just like daily, I just like, okay, today my priority is to connect with myself, with my higher self. And could be like with my mom, I would say. So it's whoever or whatever it's meaningful for you. And we have like different names to address, right? We have God, we have Buddha, we have Jesus, we have any other word that we just like proceed with. But for me, they all the same. So I'm just taking, even for like my mom, I'm just taking that moment, and my daddy that just passed away, because they both gave me the life to be in here sharing all of this with you guys, and just like be there connecting. So my priority every morning is just, I am here, I'm connecting, how can I serve you? I would like to be the instrument of your source, not of your source, the instrument for you to talk through me, for you to just like doing things from me, no, through me. And so that's how I proceed. So higher self for me, it's that time when I have the connection with my heart. It's just there. It's peaceful. It's just lovely, and just it's unique. And I wish for everybody to have that connection for sure.
Yeah, and on that notion of helping others to have that connection, you mentioned meditation. You mentioned it maybe getting quiet, like in the morning or maybe before a session. Could you elaborate more on what do you do internally, right? This is the Illuminated Mind podcast. It's about awakening to really what you're talking about, higher self, love, source, like you said, whatever you call it, that presence is there. So what do you specifically do that helps you to tap into that?
Every morning, whenever I wake up, I have my time in my bed, which I love it. And
Mhm.
I just started, thank you, God, for one more day in this earth. And what else can I do it to serve you today? How can I be happy today?
Mhm.
How can I just be as it is? And if I'm just waking up and not feeling that energy, like the harmony of my energy, I start to question myself. What is that? What I need to acknowledge from this feeling? And I ask, please, God, give me strength just to go ahead and to face anything that my mind, which goes in illusion, is going to show me to overcome, to evolve. But basically, just that time to typing in and to see, like, oh, I'm going to be connected with you today. And for me, Matthew, it's more about it. How can I be happy today? How can I be grateful today? And for the moment that I wake up, I'm grateful because I'm
Mhm.
having another opportunity of being here and to write in a new chapter of my life. And nowadays, I've been so happy to be in this lifetime. And I acknowledge that and I honor that, because as much as I've been feeling that connection, that energy, and all of the thing, all of my dreams that I've been looking, seeking, I just be there, and I just like thank you, and I start walking, get my water, doing exercise, yeah, my meditation, and yeah, pretty much that, being like consistency and
Mhm.
persistence. We need to create a habit, because if we don't create a habit, well, our day go boom, 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 boom,
Mhm.
and then we don't understand why that happened. But it's just like the intention. What I have as my intention today, I set the intention every day too. So what I wanted for today. Today I wanted this, I wanted that, I want to be happy for sure. I want to walking through my day with my opening heart. And yeah, basically it's that. And if I have any other thing to acknowledge or to make, or set the intention, I'm going to be doing. It just depends about my previous day. And then that's how I'm going to just be setting the intentions.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not necessarily hearing specific techniques, yet I'm hearing something maybe even more valuable, which is the moment you wake up, go into your intentions. What are your highest intentions? Waking up with gratitude. And I hear you saying, if you're not in a good space, take some time and be with that. Like set the intention. I want to be happy today. I want to feel good today. It sounds like you are doing like this inner, I don't know if you'd use the word communion, but like literally talking to spirit, but realizing it's not a two-way street. Like you said before, it's not like you tell higher self how it is. It's like you're just saying, my intention is this, and you're opening for higher self to help to bring you there. It just sounds to me like you know you're not alone. That if you have a challenge, you know to turn to that higher wisdom. You know, I need to start my day connected to that higher wisdom. And if I'm not, I'm going to do something to get back there. That sounds like such a valuable teaching for people, aside from just techniques, just set an intention, right? And be in touch with that just from the moment you wake up. I wonder if you can talk to us about, if you want to be someone personal, you can, you don't have to, any personal challenge you may have had where you had to tap into that resource. Like some people want to know that, it's not all rosy and loving and wonderful. Sometimes life is really challenging, right? Could you speak to that? Like maybe something you personally went through and how you use this way of thinking to overcome
Yes, I have a few things.
it? Sure.
But would be like before hypnotherapy or after? Which one you'd like? Because
Whatever works for
after
you.
hypnotherapy, I'm not having like a huge challenge
Mm,
because I have in. So now I know the truth about,
yeah.
right? So it would be before.
Okay. Yeah, let's have you talk about that. Yet I like hearing what you just said, though, that before hypnotherapy, yeah, I had challenges. After hypnotherapy, I'm good. That's, wonderful to hear. So, yeah, we don't have to go into all your personal challenges before, but I wonder, maybe with the new skill sets you have, how would you have handled challenges with these new skill sets?
Awesome. Yeah, whenever I'm not feeling in a harmony with my thoughts, which
Mhm.
guide to my emotions, and that motion, that mental pattern started to repeat over and over, I just sit down and then I ask, what's going on?
Mhm.
What you wanted to tell me?
Mhm.
Because I know that is something in my heart that was not acknowledged before that moment, right? And then I ask, and of course, I feel like uncomfortable with those feelings because they are not comfortable whenever you think like, oh, I'm not capable to do this.
Mhm.
And then you just like, how you're thinking that you're not capable. Yes, you're capable because you have proved that to you. And I start questioning, what do I need to find out on it? And I start like making those statements that I'm good. However, I would like to know where that thought came from because I know that is a region for that. And of course, I just feel like not happy being in that state because I've been reached the peace space, so I know how comfortable it is to be there. But I just start to acknowledge, asking, and I start doing like a breath work as well, because this way I'm going to find out what is the belief systems and the negativity thought that I'm holding on it. And for sure, they're going to bridge me back. So, for instance, it was back July, right before my birthday. And I was feeling like nervous. That started like a few days before my birthday. And I started feeling like nervous. And I started not having patience. And I was like, what it is coming from? And that's when I just called my friend, which she graduated with me from the school. And then I asked her to do it. Could you doing like a breath work with me? And then she goes like, yes, I couldn't do it. And in the moment that I set the intention just to acknowledge those emotions and belief systems, and was very precisely. I just bridge back in the moment on my childhood, which I fall and then I hit my lower back in the stair. And in that moment, I felt paralyzed. I felt nervous. I felt that I was not capable to breathe. So in that moment, I realized that I was holding all of those belief systems from that event, that I was 12 years old and I didn't have nobody. However, as I'm having this inner voice just telling, doing this because you're going to finding out. And that's why I just fall. I fall, I did the breath work. And then that's when I, okay, realized what was holding me. And as a gift for that moment, finding all of that, I just decided just to doing skydiving, just to face those fears, just to face those emotions. Because as much as you've been discovering them, you just wanted to reframe. And then I did it on the mental level. And I was like, how about the physical level? Let's see how that works. So I did it. That was my gift. And right before the jumping, I was feeling all of those emotions, paralyzing. I was feeling nervous and I was feeling impatient about it. However, I was focused on that. And I knew it, that was not the thing for it. It was like, how about you start to focus on the good things, like the serotonin, the dopamine that you're going to just like releasing doing that. So that's when everything shifts. So I felt everything at the same time before the action. In the action, I just enjoy it. So that's how I faced it, that moment, that challenge moment, I would say, and was all about that. So I use like breath work and any other technique that I feel that I needed, I'm going to be using. But it was what I went through. Not a big thing, but it was a little thing.
It's a perfect example, actually, of how you can utilize a lot of skill sets. And not only, so I hear you, when you're feeling bad, the first thing you said was like, you're going to stop and look. A lot of people don't do that, right? They just keep being busy, trying to find distractions or some substance that makes them feel better. But you're like, okay, I know what peace is. I'm not feeling peace. I'm going to stop and look. And then you realize underneath that negative feeling is a belief system, like I'm not good enough. Then I now hear you realize there's memories connected to those beliefs and emotions, and you know how to work through it yourself. But you also said you have another valuable resource. You have friends by going through the school, colleagues who have the same techniques as you went through the school. And you just said to a colleague, to a friend, can you help me to work through this blockage? And through breath work, one of the major techniques, you're able to bring up your stuff and then to resolve it, and then to actually push yourself, right, to skydive, right?
Yes.
You were able to, to take further steps having processed it. So beautiful. I love hearing that. Could you tell us, you've been seeing clients now, I saw testimonials on your website, maybe your most significant client experience that comes to mind, a case history of where just, you were wowed with the practice of hypnosis and how it helps someone else?
It was fascinating, this client of mine, which she was my actually first client, and she looked at for me just to help her with her diet, right? And having like an overall lifestyle, health lifestyle. And we went through in the process, like the intake, the programming session, the eye movement therapy, and also we did like parts work. And we having like the regression. And she was fascinated how she was being holding all of those belief systems because of the fire toast. She had a fire toast in an accident in her house, which she was holding all of those belief systems about herself because her parents were not in home, and she was feeling relieved because she thought that was her fault. And she was judging herself and all of that because she has her siblings with her. And for her, whenever she came out of hypnotic state, she was feeling, wow, relieved. And she was like, how magical it is, this technique, this like the hypnotherapy that I've been through with you, and how amazing it is to know that those events that happen in my life, it's now released just for the fact that I'm allowing myself to experience hypnosis with you. So she was very happy. It was like something very significant because it was my first client, and she went through in the fire toaster, and she was like, wow, how amazing is that? So for me, it was like in the first moment, and I was so happy to help her. And I was like fascinated with her realization about that she was holding all of those belief systems from one event in her life. So it was very nice of it, I would say.
Nice. So your very first client, you sounds like you felt confident to utilize the skill sets that you have. You were able to, for somebody who wanted to diet and lose weight, to help them to realize it's not just about eating better. It's not just about your weight. It's about past events, negative beliefs, negative emotions affecting you today. And your client got the aha moment about that of saying, oh, wow, I don't have to be this way. I didn't realize I had something in me holding me back. And it sounds like hypnotherapy was able to get in and resolve that.
Yes, it was
Mhm.
it. And we solved it. We became a friends.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, and I'm sure it's such a pleasure to work with you one-on-one. And on that notion, if somebody did want a private session with you or to contact you, how would they reach out to you?
You can reach out me from my website, which is just like www.amandaandradehypnosis.com. And also you can send me an email on it, info at amandaandradehypnosis.com. Also, you can find me on the Instagram page, which is Amanda Andrade Hypnosis. And then you're going to find it on the Facebook as well. You're going to have like my first name and last name and hypnosis. And also on the Twitter, which goes like Amanda Hypnosis. And on the YouTube channel, which I'm just providing a few videos about emotions and all of that. And Amanda Andrade Hypnosis. It's going to be basically my first name, last name, and hypnosis.
Perfect. I'm sure if they Google that, they're going to find all the wealth of all that great information. I was going to ask for a final closing word, but I have one other thought for you about you're doing it. Not every student, most do, but some students go through our training and they're afraid. They don't build a website. They don't have a YouTube presence. They don't have a social media presence. Could you give some words of wisdom for those who might be on the fence about just taking the leap to get out there professionally? Because I commend you. I mean, again, a lot of people do it, but some people don't. And when you really do it, it's so commendable. I really honor any student who takes our training, has the confidence within themselves to get out there and then to do that. So what might you say to somebody who hasn't taken the step that you have?
I would say, I'm going to say from my own experience, right? So I took my time just to acknowledge everything that I was going through and just to be ready for the moment. So the momentum of the opportunity, of course, has the desire because I wanted to do this for the others. And I know we have like a lot of people out there needing us. So please take your time and acknowledge that your time, it's your time. But for sure, whenever you just like ready for that, looking for it, and also you have to have a desire of it. What is your desire? Okay, you finished the hypnotherapy course, but how about now? What is going to motivate you? You need to seek for that desire. And for me, was like to shift for my career and to work for the others. And that is nothing more lovely, and I cannot say in a word, but it's just like so intense whenever you're seeing your clients and you're feeling the energy of the transformation, and you know that you are doing that not only for them but for you as well. And whenever you have those feelings, oh my God, you're going to be like, yes, I choose the right career, I choose the right school, and now I'm here for them. So basically, take your time because it's needed. Process everything that you need to process. Go looking for help if you need it, because I have done a few hypnotherapy with my instructors, and just do it and get the desire. What it's your goals for it. And after that, just started to research. Okay, what can I do it? Which platform is going to fit best for you? Because we have all of those platforms, but also we need to see which one is resonated with your heart, because each of them has a purpose. And you just start to seeking like for your own answer, what I wanted to do it, which one I'm going to be feeling better with myself, because that's how you're going to attract people towards your practice. That's what I've been doing. And so I wish you a good luck. and trust in yourself, because you can make it. And yeah, we are here to help the others. And I'm looking forward to see you practicing with me.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I hear you talking about what we call in the school, as you know, the mental law of dominant effect, where the strongest emotion always wins. So I hear your desire, we use the word desire, to be of service to others was stronger maybe than any fear or self-esteem issues you may have had, because the strongest emotion always wins. So if people are too afraid to get out there and their desire to help people is not really there. I know for me, it was like, if I can help 25 clients per week, I'm going to make a huge difference in the world. My life is going to be meaningful just from that alone. And yeah, so it's the motivation really to be of service to others. If it's about money or whatever, you don't have that strong emotional drive, but I hear you have that, and really just because you want to be of service to others. So for some closing words, words of wisdom, anything you might want to share, if you could just say one message to the whole world, what would that be?
Would be, if you understand the origin of your desires and your emotions, you can have the control of it. So understanding the origin and your origin of your emotions and desire is going to give you the benefits of having the control of it, but not like to control them, but to transform them. So seeking for that transformation, and you will find it.
Nice. Know the origins of your issues, basically. Go to the root cause. Don't just be caught up in the effect or the problem, but find the origin, resolve it, and you can be free.
Yes.
That's all right. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me, Amanda. It's always a pleasure to have you in class, to see you having graduated, see you go through NLP training, out there helping people, racking up testimonials. It's awesome. So yes, I hope anybody who's interested will reach out to Amanda directly. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being here with me. And yeah, hopefully many people will be blessed through your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity, not only for us, but for everybody else. You're just making the bridge for us. And I appreciate that for sure. I thank
My
you.
pleasure. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.